Indonesia may be poised to acquire 3 cutting-edge weapons systems from China, including a multi-role fighter aircraft J-10, a missile boat, and an anti-ship missile. The potential acquisition of the Type 022 would provide Indonesia with a relatively low-cost platform capable of delivering anti-ship missiles against larger adversary surface ships. The development comes as Jakarta, under President Prabowo Subianto, has kicked off an aggressive push to modernize its military to combat challenges. Indonesia has been steadily diversifying its arms purchases to avoid over-reliance on a single supplier. It states that the pragmatic, non-aligned defense strategy reflected in Indonesia's procurement plan provides the country with considerable flexibility to seek military agreements with a variety of partners. In line with that strategy, Indonesia's defense minister, Shafri Shamsuddin, recently announced that the country could acquire J-10 fighter jets from China. They will be flying over Jakarta soon, Shamsuddin stated. The disclosure came months after the Indonesian Deputy Defense Minister Dani Ermawan Tafanto announced that China had offered the J-10C jets to the country. The minister said the government was examining whether the aircraft, widely used by the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force, could meet operational requirements and be integrated with existing Indonesian platforms. The recent decision suggests that the talks and assessment have progressed faster than previously anticipated and include more than just the J-10 fighter jets. The Indonesian Ministry of Finance approved plans for the country to use foreign loans to finance the purchase of 3 defense systems from China, as per the documents, including a letter from Indonesia's Ministry of Finance to its Ministry of Defense that were provided to J-10s. A total loan amount of $3.1 billion has been approved, particularly for the purchase of J-10B multi-role aircraft, the Hobei fast attack craft, and the CM-302 coastal anti-ship missile. In fact, the report states that Indonesia has already started looking for lenders to back the proposal. The MOD has been authorized to source up to $1.6 billion in foreign loans to fund the purchase of the J-10B fighter aircraft. These loans could come from commercial lending institutions, bilateral creditors, or foreign export credit agencies. It is pertinent to note that the J-10's report states that Indonesia intends to use the program to acquire used J-10B airframes that were previously used by China's People's Liberation Army Air Force. This is in contrast to media reports claiming that Jakarta wants to acquire 42 J-10C fighters, the latest and most advanced variant of the aircraft, which has only been sold to Pakistan. We has contacted the Indonesian Ministry of Defense and awaits a formal confirmation. The Chengdu J-10B is an advanced multi-role fighter aircraft developed by China's Chengdu Aircraft Industry Corporation as an upgraded variant of the baseline J-10A Vigorous Dragon, the first major indigenously produced aircraft. The J-10B retains the J-10 family's single-engine, single-seat layout with a canard delta wing for high agility. The J-10B was initially powered by the Russian Saturn Luika AL-3FN Series 3 engine, which provided more thrust than the older models. However, it was later swapped for the locally made WS-10B engines. The J-10B qualifies as a thrust vectoring variant with super maneuverability, which gives it a decisive advantage in a dogfight. The J-10B features a new fixed diverterless supersonic inlet, a concept also found on the F-35 Lightning II, a wide-angle holographic head-up display, a helmet-mounted display, 3 big color multifunctional displays, an infrared search and track, and a laser rangefinder ball in front of the canopy. Additionally, it is equipped with a passive electronically scanned array radar system operating in the X-band, and carries PL-10 and PL-12 missiles. Indonesia might be able to get these fighters at a much lower cost than a brand new J-10C. Notably, the reports of J-10's purchase have stirred quite a storm, with analysts claiming that it could create a rift between Jakarta and Washington, especially as the latter has offered the F-15EX to the Indonesian Air Force. However, Major General Freddy Ardianza, head of the Indonesian National Armed Forces Information Center, said that the procurement will not affect its military relations with other countries, including the US. The Type 22 is a class of fast, agile, stealthy, and powerful missile boats operated by the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy. The missile boat was designed to operate in China's littoral zone and conduct coastal patrols. It has a capacity for 12 crew members and is equipped with 8 anti-ship missiles, making it a formidable threat. Built over a catamaran design, the Type 22 Hobei-class stealth missile boats provide the Chinese PLA Navy with a low observable missile launch platform against enemy vessels, along with air defense capability. The Type 22 missile boat is just over 200 tons, but provides high mobility, high stealth capability, and strong firepower. These boats carry the YJ-83 subsonic anti-ship cruise missiles and a licensed copy of the AK-60 6-barrel 30mm Gatling gun. Chinese military affairs specialist Wang Yunfei earlier told a state-owned publication, Global Times, that the Type 22 missile boat was created and constructed about 20 years ago, when the PLA Navy had few major ships but was tasked with significant coastal defense responsibilities. It performed the role well, as it could sail at roughly 50 knots and carry anti-ship missiles on marine attack missions. Nonetheless, it can still play a meaningful role even though the PLA Navy has transitioned from purely coastal defense to a combination of coastal and far seas defense after commissioning large warships like aircraft carriers and amphibious assault ships. Wang noted that the Type 22 can easily outperform warships of similar sizes from other nations. The water is shallow near islands and reefs in the South China Sea, and boats like the Type 22 can move flexibly when larger vessels would need to worry about hitting the rocks. The potential acquisition of the Type 022 would provide Indonesia with a relatively low-cost platform capable of delivering anti-ship missiles against larger adversary surface ships. It would be useful in denying access to choke points and straits. Notably, Indonesia's geography favors many small, fast vessels that can operate from dispersed bases, which is exactly the environment these boats are designed for. These boats can also be queued to high-value targets beyond their own sensors, greatly increasing effectiveness. Thus, it fits right into the networked modern combat requirements.